Did the grains teach you how everything is meaningless at the end? And Dick used to ask all of us, what are you avoiding in this moment? What are you avoiding in this moment? In real life, what needs the most of your attention? Which area needs most of your attention? And then Dick used to ask us, what needs to be sought and what is taking more of your time? What needs to be sought and what is taking most of your time? And then he said, most people's life in the end, with all the work that they've done, goes back in the box and it ends with their life. But some people's life continues even after death. And he said, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela. Some people's worlds continue to exist even after death, and their influence stays with us. Their lives did matter. And then he said, we are all provided with limited resources. And the big question you ask yourself is, what did you do with those resources? We're provided with limited resources, 24 hours today, or 20 years from now. I think it was Mohammad Ahmed, the Pakistani director and lyricist, who says, and I read his quote, he says, stop saving your new shirt and new shoe for an occasion to wear. Today being alive, tomorrow is an occasion. Are we good? Yeah, are we good? Are we good? Are we in the now? Are we in the now? Are we in the now? Come back in your body. The now has no pain. Fritz says, the present moment is the most potent moment. It's the most pregnant moment. It's about to be born. All the problems of our life is because we escaped this moment into the past, and we are worrying about the way it happened, and we are feeling bad about the way it happened. And we are living that abuse again. We are living that trauma again. We are living that limited self-talk again. We are living that negative self-talk again. Fritz says the other problem we face is escaping the present and going into the future, visualizing we don't have resources and suffering a miserable life in the future using creative imagination. And he says, to avoid both, come in the present, because the present is the most potent, pregnant moment. It's just about to be born. It's never born, right? It's just about to be born. The moment it is born, it goes in the past. It's just so pregnant. It's just so pregnant. It's just about to be born. But it's never born. It's constantly going there, because the moment it is born, the new present, the more you continue to be in the present. It works even with neurosis. And what is neurosis, right? Every escape from the present moment is neurotic. They will escape. The more you bring them back, the more you have scope of working with them. Every organism is trying creatively to adjust with their environment, and that's what we call as coping mechanism. But if you bring judgment and projection to their coping mechanism, or if you bring tagging, abuse, and labeling to their coping mechanism, or if you bring in condemnation and judgment to their coping mechanism, they may not be able to cope even through all the attempts and efforts they're trying to cope with. We all have the resources and we're just trying to cope with life. We may sound stupid, but we're just trying to cope through life. You know, that person you see, you will feel so stupid. Why are you doing that? but he's trying his best to cope with life. Yeah, it may sound anything, but all they are doing is trying to cope with life. As a therapist, our job is to let them plug into their resourceful state, or let them plug into somebody with resources so that they find resource. Not that people make wrong choices, just that people don't have the right options. If they had the option, they would have made those choices. Have you heard people saying, I didn't know that? Yeah, that's a good position. We never make wrong choices. We never had those options or the resources sometimes. And Dick says then that Gestalt is that experience. It's between Shiva and Daksh Prajapati. One has the knowledge and one has the experience. Ek bairagi hai aur ek yajman hai. It's that interplay. And how do you decide? Should I stay at epistemology or should I come at experience? And it takes two to know one. And he says, the experience of failure is better than the knowledge of success. The experience of failure is better than the knowledge of success. Fritz says, awareness is an interplay between the individual and the environment, between what they choose to focus on. The neurotic will keep disrupting the present moment. And we are all neurotic at some level. You know, when you talk to somebody about something very important, they'll escape the present moment and they'll go somewhere. You know, they'll say, "Oh, you know what happened?" They're leaving you, but you got to keep bringing them back into the now. But sometimes people with clinical condition will need more help than just talk therapy.